Today is March 21st, and I'm going to be going over the top 5 stocks to be buying right now as of today, possibly going into next week as well. So definitely keep an eye out for possibly the remaining of March and going into April as well for these stocks and the current price ranges I'm going to be talking about. So first one up is going to be Tesla stock. And take this with a grain of salt. I will be going over each of the unusual whales firms, seeing all the price targets here as of March. And for Tesla stock here, you can see Morgan Stanley with a 410 price target, Piper there, Sandler 450 price target, Cantor 425, RBC here 320. You can see that the last 6 recommendations here have been a buy recommendation. Of course, there is these 3 sell recommendations here as well, but the latest ones here, 430, 404, 320, 425, 450, 410, all buy recommendations, 6 in a row. So this is really spectacular in my opinion. And you can see the insider buys here, 530,000. And this is just reported as well. This is week of March 10th. About 54,000 sales and then 530,000 buys there. So take this with a grain of salt. Let's go ahead and go straight into the Webull chart here. So I'm just going to be sharing with you, in my opinion, when is the best time to be buying into Tesla stock, right? So again, long-term, I am a long-term holder into Tesla stock. So dollar cost averaging, I think, is a really good option here for Tesla stock. But if you're looking for the best possible entry, I really think, in my opinion, below 250 is going to be a generational dip opportunity, okay? I really think below 250, this dip opportunity won't come as much going into the future, right? Similar to in the past here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys on the weekly chart here. Similar to the past, when we hit a low of 101, the RSI here dropped below 30, and if you got in at 101, you could definitely see there was a reversal here, and we moved all the way back up to about $300 almost per share, before here having another pullback down to about 138, okay? 138 there, also close to the 30 RSI there. Then having that reversal all the way back up to 488. So here we are again, getting close to the 30 RSI. Now, am I waiting for the 30 RSI to be tested? Am I waiting for the 30 RSI to break down below? And honestly, the answer to my own question is no, I'm not waiting for the bottom. I'm not trying to time the bottom. This is already dropping down to a level where I think is very exceptional for me, considerable for an entry for me, right? Anything below 250, I think, is a really good dip opportunity. So, in my opinion, say you're watching this weeks from now, or say you doubt that 250 is a good entry point, and you think that there might be possibly a dip down to 193, which is possible. It's not impossible, right? Of course, we could dip down to 100 again. And in my opinion, I would just dollar cost average more into the long term for Tesla stock, right? I'm a patient investor, okay? If it doesn't happen, right? Say it doesn't break down below 193. Say we break above 250, which in my opinion is going to occur, and you missed out on this opportunity below 250. I still think below the middle Bollinger Band is a decent entry, okay? It's not the best entry, but it's definitely a decent entry, being below right around 306, okay? So below 306, I wouldn't mind entering a small position for Tesla stock. I think below 250, I definitely would look to add a bigger position. And of course, dollar cost averaging over time, just in case there is that chance or slight possibility of a further dip down to the bottom side there. So on the weekly chart, you can see we're close to the 30 RSI. If we move into the daily chart, you can see the bottom here has already been priced in. So I think the bottom here at 217 or 215 has already been bottomed out here. I'm just looking for that 250 to be tested, broken above, and I think this should occur going into the next couple of weeks. So we could possibly go sideways in one of these weeks or one of these days. Watch for this big break towards the top side. I'm looking for about 288 to be tested there. So 288 is just something to keep an eye out for, because on the daily chart, that's where the middle Bollinger Band is, close to 290 or 280, 288 there, sorry, 288 to 290. If we compare the current price there to that middle Bollinger Band, that's going to be a 16% move towards the upside here for Tesla stock, okay? Long term, I do think we're going to get that upper Bollinger Band test as well. And again, that's going to be closer towards 376. So 376 there is going to be a 50% move towards the top side from our current price here. And if you are bearish on Tesla stock, this is just my personal opinion as well. I don't think we're going to break down below 200. But hypothetically, if you do think we get another pullback down to 217 or 215, right? Just to keep in mind that is going to be about a 13 to 14% drop towards the downside there. And if you look at the price target of, let's just say, Piper Sandler or even Morgan Stanley, right? Let's take a look at Morgan Stanley since it's the latest one here at 410, a buy recommendation. Again, take this with a grain of salt. 410 here is going to be right here, just approximate, right? From our current price, that's going to be a 64% towards the upside there. And in my opinion, now here's my opinion for the upside potential for long term, right? I already know that 488 is going to be tested eventually. And that's just my personal opinion and belief on Tesla stock long term. If we go back to 488 from our current price here, that is a 96% move toward the top side, all right? If you watched any of our previous video where we mentioned Tesla dip opportunity while it was down here, all the way back to like 230, 220, that would have been a 110% move toward the top side there. And again, it's still not too late in my opinion. We're at 246 at the moment, right? We're still below 250, and say you missed out on 250, you'll still be below 306. I think this entire time, being below 306 and being below 250 is just a really good dip opportunity here for Tesla stock. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. Are you in Tesla stock long term, or are you just playing this because it dipped and then you're just looking to play off the bounce, right? Let us know down below in the comments, okay? But again, personally here, long term on Tesla stock, I think 488 is going to be retested eventually. And I think Morgan Stanley's price target here is pretty considerable as well, okay? And like I said, here's the insider buys of March 10th, week of March 10th there. Insider buys and insider sells there. Average price is 238. So that's definitely something to keep in mind there. The next stock I want to go over is my second pick here, which is going to be NVIDIA. You can see here some of the latest price targets here. D.A. Davidson updating his price target from 135 all the way down to 125 as a hold recommendation. You can see SUS here, 180 buy recommendation. Cantor, $200 price target here, a buy recommendation. Basically from March 20th, March 19, March 19. Mizuho here, March 14. Pretty much all from this week as well. And if we take a look at the latest insider buys and sells, you can see there's over 1 million buys here at about average price of 114, and some more buys and a couple sells here at average price of 113.75. Screenshot this if you want to for NVIDIA stock, and then let's go ahead and go into the NVIDIA chart here for our second pick. Current price is 117. And a lot of people here wanting to see NVIDIA below 100. I know we recently hit that low of 104, and then recently here climbed back up to almost a high of about 123 there. And with our current price at 117, just want to share with you the potential pullback levels. And I do have 110 here as a major support, which I don't think we break down below. There is short-term support at 115 as well, so that's something to keep an eye out for. From our current price though, about a 5% drop here, which is going to be the risk. Okay, so personally wouldn't mind dollar cost averaging into NVIDIA. I think one of the best dip opportunities is below 117. And if you view this from the daily chart, so long as we are below the middle Bollinger Band, so long as we're below 124, still think it's a decent time to be dollar cost averaging into NVIDIA stock. And again, ranging from 117 down to possibly 104, maybe even 96. So I don't think 96 is going to be tested, but there's always that chance, right? Between 117 and 96 here is going to be the best dip opportunity for NVIDIA stock here long term. And if we zoom out here to the weekly chart, you can see the high here of all time is right around 153. And if we take a look at the price target here, let's take a look at this high price target of Cantor. Cantor here having it at $200 price target. And again, take this with a grain of salt. That is going to be from our current price here, a 70% move towards the top side there. And if we take a look at my personal price target of 180, this is by the end of the year, that will be a 52% move towards the top side there for NVIDIA stock, okay? You know my preferable entry range now between 117 and 96. Also, wouldn't mind adding below 124. I think that's decent as well. I think if we get closer towards these resistances of 132 and 142, I wouldn't want to buy as much NVIDIA stock, possibly just dollar cost average a small position. But again, it's these times where it's the best time to be adding into NVIDIA stock when one, the overall market is down, or two, when we are in a bearish range, okay? So being below middle Bollinger Band and closer to the lower Bollinger Band, between these two price ranges is where I would personally look to be adding into NVIDIA stock, and then just riding it up to the upper Bollinger Band here. And last few things I want to mention in terms of resistances for NVIDIA stock. Going into the next couple of weeks, if we start to have a rally, keep in mind 124, 132, and 142. These are resistance levels to keep an eye out for. Look to see if we reject or break above these three levels here. And long term, like I mentioned, I do think we are going to break above 153. I think the upside potential here is going to be pretty massive here, 52% upside in my opinion. And then you also have that price target of $200 as well. That's a 70% move towards the top side from current price here. The next stock I want to go over is Palantir, and I know this one's a lot more riskier as well, but there's so much upside potential here in terms of a recovery from our highs of 125. You can see there's a mixture of sells and buys here from the insiders. 1 second here. You can see Loop Capital here with a 125 price target. He lowered it from 141. So from 141 all the way down to 125. Still a buy recommendation from Loop Capital on March 13. And prior to that, we have Wedbush here with a 120 price target. Also a buy recommendation. And let's go ahead and take a look at Palantir here today. Up about 2%, $89. My personal preferable range for Palantir stock is actually between $80 and $65. Now, if we don't test towards those levels again, I personally wouldn't mind dollar cost averaging or adding into Palantir so long as we are below the middle Bollinger Band. And to kind of round this up to give us some more time and space, I think an entry below $97 is pretty considerable and pretty good in my opinion for Palantir stock. Of course, we could potentially fall back down more, which in my opinion, I would be dollar cost averaging more into Palantir stock. The reasoning is because I am looking for 125 to be retested. And if we look at our current price here, hypothetically, let's just say $90, right? An upside move towards 125 is going to be about 38% towards the top side there. And again, on the daily chart, anything below the middle Bollinger Band, I think is a pretty good entry point. And of course, if we get closer down towards the lower Bollinger Band, that might even be a better entry point. So you have this upside of 37 to 38% towards the all-time high. And in terms of a pullback, this is also very possible as well. We might get a retest of 75, and 75 here is close to about a 17% drop. And again, wouldn't mind dollar cost averaging here into Palantir stock. Watch out for this recovery towards 125 within 2025. That's just my personal prediction there. If you take a look at Loop Capital's previous price target here of 141, let's go ahead and mark that 141, and then you move the upside potential, that is close to about 55% here. Let us know down below as well if you're in NVIDIA or Palantir stock, if you're long-term in it as well. Just wanted to see how many shares you guys have or what your guys' thoughts are in Palantir. I know a lot of people have Palantir down here in this average zone. We did call out Palantir stock here in our Discord as well as in our previous videos of Palantir back in the past. You can check that out in our YouTube channel. Our average between $20 and $30 there. And we have kind of rode this all the way up to 125. All right, and we had this gap fill that we mentioned that we might get a gap fill towards the bottom side. We ended up having that gap fill and then tested this low here of about $75. Let's go ahead and go over the next stock, which is going to be Apple now. So we're going into our fourth stock now, and as well as our fifth stock. Fourth stock here going to be Apple. You can see the price targets here from March 18, March 12th, as well as some price targets from January here. I'll mainly be going over March price targets. Morgan Stanley here with 252 buy recommendation. Evercore here, 275 price target with another buy recommendation. Most of these are buy recommendations with an exception of 2 sells. All right. We can go ahead and take a look at Apple here on Webull with the current price here being 215 today. And by zoom in here, you can see the dip opportunity is between 215 actually, and all the way down to about 203. I think this is one of the best dip opportunities for Apple stock. And again, say hypothetically you missed this dip opportunity below 215. I wouldn't mind adding into Apple stock or dollar cost averaging into it so long as we are below 230, okay? The price target that I'm looking for personally is going to be 260, and again, that's close to our all-time high. If we move it from our current price here, let's go ahead and re-edit this to 215 approximately. It's close to about a 21% upside move here for Apple stock's recovery. Now, this could be potentially going into the next couple of months, or this could potentially be throughout the year of 2025. And if you take a look at Evercore's price target of 275, let's just take that with a grain of salt. But if we take a look at 275 from our current price, it's pretty much a 28% move towards the top side here for Apple stock. Same thing with Apple stock. Let me know if you guys are in Apple stock down below in the comments here. So thanks in advance if you do, let us know as well. And from current price here, you just risk, in my opinion, a potential 6% drop down towards 203. Okay, so 203 here is my major support level. I don't think we break below 203 unless the overall market does drop some more, which there's always that possibility. And again, it'd be dollar cost averaging more into Apple stock if we dropped further, okay? The last stock I want to go over is going to be Meta, M-E-T-A. Last few price targets here, we only have one here as of today here, March 18th. This is on Unusual Whales again. Key Blanc with a $710 price target, a buy recommendation. Prior to that, we had one in February 11th, Tigris Financial, $935 price target with a buy recommendation. UBS here, $786, all right. Mainly the one I want to be looking at is the closest price target here, Key Blanc, $710 there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Webull here for Meta. This is our last stock, by the way. And Meta here has dropped down into our dip opportunity. This yellow box here means I wouldn't mind adding into Meta stock. And the ranges are between 570 all the way to about 595. So we're at 594 right now. I really wouldn't mind adding into Meta stock right now. I think this is a really good dip opportunity. But I'm also leaving cash on the side just in case, again, if the overall market does pull back. We have also 527 all the way to about 570 as a really good dip opportunity as well. But since I'm not timing, the bottom or anything, we're already here at 593. I think this is a really good dip opportunity to be adding into Meta stock if looking for that reversal towards the all-time high here of 740. And comparing it to current prices here is about a 24 to 25% upside move. If you are looking for potentially a downside test, so from current price here, let's go ahead and get this going on here. From current price here, just as an approximate level, down to 570 is about a 5% drop, and down to about 530, close to about a 12% drop, all right? Definitely something to just keep in mind in terms of downside movement, savings cash on the side basically, in case there's more downside movement. This is what I would be adding over time or dollar cost averaging for Meta stock. And then, of course, long term, holding patiently, looking for that retest of 740. You can also see 710 here is KeyBank's price target. And if we zoom down to 710, that's approximately a 20% upside, which is still pretty considerable and great in my opinion if looking to swing or momentum trade this towards the top side, looking for that reversal. 20% from current price, pretty considerable, pretty good here in my opinion. Okay, so you have my top 5 there: Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, Apple, and Meta. And again, I do think by the end of this year, we get this retest of 740, which is close to that 25% gain. With these 5%, with these 5 stocks here, let me know down below in the comments which one you're in, and if you're invested in all 5, or if you're invested in some. And if I had to pick only 3, I think with the most upside potential as well as considerable risk as well, I can tolerate Tesla, Nvidia, and Palantir. I think these ones are more risky, but these ones also have the most potential to run and rally up towards the top side. And most of these are already oversold from the top here. With Palantir, I would just be a little bit more careful just in case there is a bit more room here on the weekly chart and daily chart for the RSI to cool down. But that being said, I don't mind dollar cost averaging into any of these 5 stocks. I'm just saying that Palantir here might have a little bit more risk in terms of movement towards the downside before we see the all-time high being tested, okay? Long term, within 1 to 5 years anyways, I do think the all-time high is going to be tested here for all 5 of these stocks. And in the order, in my opinion, I think Tesla, it would be my number 1 pick. All right, Nvidia here being my number 2 pick. Palantir, my 3rd pick, and then Apple, 4th pick here, and then Meta, fifth pick. I think Apple and Meta kind of wishy-washy with both of them. One of these could be my fourth or fifth. But again, Tesla here, I think I would prioritize due to the amount of dip opportunity we have here. And really, if you take a look at the top here, all the way down to our current price, man, that's like a 50% drop. So pretty crazy here. Pretty crazy from the top there at least. But we have a 90% gain here that at least mentioning. Let me see here actually. Yeah, pretty crazy here. Lastly, if you are looking for our live entries and exits, you can join our Patreon. We currently have a permanent discount link down below in the description. Check it out. It's a 90% off discount as we're celebrating our 5-year anniversary. And if you are looking for our Discord, it's going to be free to join. Discord, free to join. Link down below in the description. Over 32,000 people. We have a chat section for Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, Apple, and Meta as well. Tesla here being probably one of our most popular, as well as Nvidia. Palantir and BBI is actually going to be in the same chat section there on the Discord. And Apple and Meta as well, both on our Discord. Free to join. Feel free to chat there. And for live entries and exits on stocks and options, like I said, Patreon will allow you to unlock the VIP channels on our Discord. So you can check that out. Link down below in the description. See if there's any more available slots or spots there for Patreon there, okay? Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you in the next video for top 5 stocks to be buying now.